These are the top 15 family-friendly neighborhoods in Toronto. Not every Toronto neighborhood is built for raising a family, but some stand out above the rest. There's over 140 distinct neighborhoods in the city of Toronto, and if you're choosing where to go next while raising your family, it can feel like a massive decision. Safety, schools, parks, a sense of community all matter a little bit more when kids are in the picture. If you pick the wrong spot, you could find yourself having longer commutes, limited community programming, and schools that don't meet your expectations. My name is Tom Storey, and we've been working in Toronto real estate for over a decade, and I've watched my clients grow from buying their first condo to maybe moving up to the townhouse to now settling down with their family for the next 10, 20, 30 years. I've also personally been through this experience myself. I got 2 young kids, and what matters to me now is different than what mattered to me in my 20s. So if you enjoy these type of videos, make sure you give this video a like, get subscribed. If you want to work with a team that helps a lot of families move into the neighborhoods we're going to talk about in this video, you can book a call with us in the first link in the description. When ranking the best neighborhoods in Toronto for families, we have to talk about what the criteria is. So let's start with safety. Then we're going to talk about schools, parks and recreation, amenities, transit, overall community, and childcare access. So let's go over the 15 top family-friendly neighborhoods in the city of Toronto. This is just my opinion. There's lots of wonderful neighborhoods that might not come up on this video, but if you live in a neighborhood that you think is awesome that isn't on this video, make sure to put it in the comments below. Number 1 is Bloor, West Village, and High Park. We've seen this in our own business. Our clients that want to stay west end of the city, this is always their number 1 choice. You get direct access to High Park, the zoo, the trails, you got skating and playgrounds. There's very strong school catchments like Runnymede and Humberside Collegiate. It's a vibrant main street with family-friendly shops and cafes. Next on the list is the Kingsway in Etobicoke. And yes, that is technically still the city of Toronto, so we're staying on the west side. Should also say that these are in no particular order. With the Kingsway, you get wide tree-lined streets with larger detached homes. You got the Humber Bay trails with proximity to the Royal York subway. There's a huge community hub that's great for dining and boutique shopping. The Kingsway is a very, very sought after neighborhood for families with young kids, with growing kids, and really for anybody. The Kingsway is a wonderful neighborhood. Next up is Leaside. So Leaside is more kind of northeast in terms of the map of the city of Toronto. Leaside High School is there. I had lots of friends that went to Leaside High School, and they turned out to be pretty good people. This is a neighborhood that is in high demand. If you look at like what type of housing is there, sure, you have semi-detached homes. You got a lot of kind of like the post-war bungalows on larger lots. You have a lot of infill housing right now in that neighborhood where people are buying these smaller homes on big lots and building them up into really big homes. This is a huge family neighborhood. You got the shopping on Bayview. There's going to be strollers when you're walking down Bayview every single day. There's a reason why so many people love to live in this neighborhood, and that's why Leaside has made this list. Next up on the list is Riverdale. So if you want to be on the east end of Toronto and you want some stunning homes, great location, great restaurants, and kind of everything right at your fingertips, Riverdale is a community you might want to consider. You got Withrow and Riverdale Park with playgrounds and great places to walk your dog. You're walkable to Broadview and Bloor subway lines. The Danforth Strip has the restaurants that are not too far away. I have quite a few clients and friends that live in this neighborhood. Now, it is not cheap. It is expensive to buy in this pocket. There's a reason why it's expensive. People want to be there, and that is why it's made our list. Number 5 on the list is the Beaches. So if you're willing to go a little bit more east, the Beaches is a really, really special community. You got Ashbridges Bay, you got Kew Gardens, you got all the different good school districts, especially for the elementary schools like the Balmy School District. The Beaches is a neighborhood that I've seen a ton of our clients move to. When they're moving out of downtown and they want to get a house and be in a community vibe, the Beaches is always top of the list if they're looking to go to the east end of the city. Just like some other areas we've talked about in this video, it is not cheap to move to the Beaches. You could look at the upper beaches as a more affordable option if you don't want to come specifically to the beach. There's a ton going on here. I would say like restaurants could be a little bit better in the Beaches. You probably want to go to Leslieville for most of them, but there's a lot happening in this area. You got the Beaches Jazz Fest that happens every single year. It is a community that when people come to the area, they typically stay. The only thing I would say about the beaches, because I have a lot of clients that live in the area, it's very hilly. If you're going north to south for most of the streets, it is really a big drop down. So just keep that in mind when you're pushing strollers. Next up in the list is Roncesvalles, or Ronci. They have an awesome vibe in that neighborhood with local bakeries, bookstores, and cafes. You've got Suburban Park, you've got farmers markets, there's sports, there's lots of areas to walk your dog. In the fall, they have the Polish Festival, which draws a lot of people. We've had a ton of clients move to Ronci over the years. I kind of look at it as if it's like the Leslieville of the West End. Seems to be like typical clients that go east or west, but those are the areas that they're picking, and a wonderful place to have a family. Number 7 on the list is Yonge and Lawrence, Bedford Park area. I grew up in this neighborhood and I turned out okay. I mean, I'll leave that decision up to you. You got great school districts like John Wanless, like Glenview, like Lawrence Park for the public school system. Lots of walkability, whether you're going to go to Yonge Street or Avenue Road. They have everything that you would need. This is a huge family neighborhood for a reason. Good community vibe, lots of amazing restaurants. People that buy here usually stay here for decades and decades because it is a wonderful spot to be. You can walk to the Lawrence subway station, get downtown in not too long of a period of time. It's a really great area and it's on this list for that reason. So next up on the list is Banbury Don Mills. And what you're getting in this neighborhood is more like suburban size streets. So it doesn't, you're very much in Toronto. You're like not that far from the bridle path actually. But it feels less like Toronto on the streets. It's more quiet. You got mature trees, and the lot sizes of the homes are typically much larger than a lot of other neighborhoods we've talked about on this list. Shops at Don Mills has come a long way since it was introduced. You got some amazing shopping, food, bank options there. There's condos all surrounding it as well. For a family-friendly neighborhood, the Don Mills area, I think, is one that will come up for a lot of people that don't want kind of the craziness of more downtown to the east or west, but want a little bit more calmer lifestyle. This might fit your criteria. Next on the list, we're going to Scarborough in the Guildwood communities. There's some great homes, and this area is really not that far away from the beaches. It's a little bit further away, but not that far away. And the difference in what you can get for your money is huge, right? It makes a big difference. There's GO transit stations for people to commute. And if you're okay with being kind of further on the east end of the city, this might be a neighborhood that you want to look at. The Bluffs are not too far away. That's gorgeous if you haven't been there, going for a walk, checking out the Bluffs. It is a great neighborhood, and that's why it's on this list. Next up is Danforth Village and East York. So I'm going to put them together here, but they're kind of different neighborhoods. So with what you're finding typically for the Danforth area is you're getting cheaper home prices compared to Leslieville, compared to the beaches, but you still have options for like semi-detached homes. If you go more to East York, similar to kind of what we were talking about with Leaside, is you're going to get a lot of the wider lot bungalow homes and a lot of infill housing happening. So that's kind of what you're going to find for these different areas. The vibes are different between them. But in terms of like areas you'd want to raise a family, you do need a car more living in East York than you would in Danforth and some of the other locations we've talked about, but both wonderful areas to consider. Next up is Yonge-Eglinton, and we can put Davisville Village in here as well. So Yonge-Egg has had a ton of growth over the last little while, but the housing, the single family housing neighborhoods surrounding them have great housing options for family. Same idea. You're not too far away from Leaside. You can walk over a little bit east. Walkability is like what these neighborhoods are all about. Again, I grew up not too far from here, so like I actually experienced this firsthand. I had a lot of friends that lived in the Yonge-Egg neighborhood, the Davisville Village neighborhood, and it's good. It's like filled with families. It's got single family homes that people actually want to buy. It's the type of housing that we keep saying we want more of in the city of Toronto, but we're not building it. We're just building condos. So I think this Midtown zone is a wonderful area if you're open to it. And these were the areas that were already popular before, like, Ronci became trendy and Leslieville became trendy, right? These were kind of the staple neighborhoods that have always had demand, and I believe will continue to have demand into the future. The next neighborhood is Swansea. So this is nestled in between Humber River and High Park. You have great schools, including Swansea Public School. This gives you more of a small town feel, but still being very, very close to Bloor West. So if you're looking on the west side of the city, I think Swansea should be a neighborhood that you really are considering. Next up on the list is Cliff Crest and Birch Cliff. So this is even closer to the beaches, but the cost is significantly different. So if you want bigger lots, larger backyards, quieter streets, and lower housing prices compared to what you find in the beaches and Leslieville, then this might be an area that you want to consider. I personally have helped many families of ours that have moved from their condo living into homes in this neighborhood for all those exact reasons, and they love living there. So if you're okay, having an address that says Scarborough on it instead of Toronto, even though it's still technically the city of Toronto, this might be an area you seriously want to consider. And the final one on our list is the Weston/Humber Valley Village neighborhood. They've got the Humber River trails for biking and walking. You've got established schools and spacious homes, and it's got ongoing transit improvements with the UP Express and the LRT expansion. Okay, so we've now gone through what I believe are the top family-friendly neighborhoods in the city of Toronto. I've talked about the top 15. And we go back to the criteria. One of the big things is schools. I've based a lot of this list on public schools that are funded by taxes, okay? Now, I'm well aware that there's some neighborhoods I haven't talked about that are wonderful for families, like Rosedale, like Summerhill, like Forest Hill. There's some areas that are not in this video just because most of the kids that grow up in those areas go to private schools. Not that kids from all these other areas don't go to private schools as well, which is probably a slightly smaller percentage. So I wanted to focus on, none of these areas we talked about today are cheap. They cost a decent amount of money for a reason because people want to be there and they have a lot to offer, but they're significantly less expensive compared to some of the communities that I just mentioned. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like it, maybe share it with a friend looking to upsize in the city of Toronto and trying to focus on single family home neighborhoods that would be best for raising their family. I just went through this myself. This is a video I really wanted to make to talk about because it's a huge decision for families to figure out where they want to go. Because once you get your kid into a public school, you don't really want to leave the catchment zone. You want to keep them in their class with their friends. Thank you for watching. My name is Tom Storey. And remember, home is where your story begins.